welcome you to the UIL 3A Division II State High School Football Championship from Cowboys Stadium in Arlington, presented by State Farm. This afternoon, the 3A Division II title matchup hits the top-ranked team in Texas, the undefeated Navasota Rattlers, taking on the Gilmer Buckeyes. Hi again, everybody. I'm Craig Way. Happy to have you with us for another state championship telecast. This is game number 5 of the 9 state championships to be contested over the course of 3 days here at Cowboys Stadium in Arlington. Pleased to be joined by the head coach of the Brownwood Lions, Bob Shipley, who joins us again. And you've had a chance to coach in these Class 3A state championships before, so you know what the feeling is like for these coaches and these communities.
Fortunately, I have a couple of times, and I can tell you these two teams have been waiting a long time. These two communities, it's just built up to a feverish pitch. Today is a day they've been waiting for.
Now, Navasota comes in as the #1 team in the state. They are undefeated, but they also come in with a cloud over the team. Yesterday, very early in the morning, their outstanding running back, kick returner specialist, defensive back Xavier Creeks was injured seriously in an automobile accident. He was returning from taking his father to work, had a car crash, suffered a broken leg, and as a result is not here, obviously, and had to undergo surgery. For more details, just a few moments ago, down on the sidelines, our Jim Knox was visiting with Lee Fedora, the head coach of the Navasota Rattlers.
All right, thank you, Craig. Coach, Xavier Creeks gets into that terrible accident a couple of nights ago. How's the team right now, and how are you guys doing?
I think they're handling adversity well. I told them champions handle adversity. We're just thankful that he's alive and didn't pass, because I know talking to the doctors, they said it was very close to being a fatal accident. So he went through surgery yesterday, had 20 broken bones in the leg, and but he sent us a text and told us he's here with us in heart. And that's why our kid's going to play for him.
Moments before taking the field, you guys will be coming out probably within the next 20 minutes. You got to go back into the locker room. What are you going to tell your team before taking the field?
Play Navasota Rattler football. That's all we do each and every day, and that's the way we approach it. And that's putting your teammates first. And you're going to see it when we come out. Will Imhoff, who's finally going to be able to run out with us this year after breaking his leg, and he's going to be holding the number 8 up in the air as he comes through for our fans.
Best of luck, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Greg?
All right, thank you very much, Jim. Now, Navasota is indeed without Xavier Creeks, but the Rattlers still have a lot of offensive talent, including the 3A Player of the Year, Kadarius Baker, their outstanding quarterback.
Well, outstanding he is. 4,200 yards passing, 53 touchdowns. He's just had an incredible season.
Well, while Kadarius Baker has accounted for all of that offense, while it has been offense that certainly captures the headlines for Navasota, what has turned around the season for the Gilmer Buckeyes this season has been defense. They had an early season loss. It's a very young football team, but defense has made the difference, and that's keyed by their outstanding linebacker, Josh Walker.
Well, that's right. When you look at Jeff Traylor and the history of his Gilmer teams that have made it to the state championship, they've always had great defenses. Josh Walker, 124 tackles, 8 sacks this season. The junior is committed to Texas A&M.
It is Gilmer against Navasota, the 3A Division II State Football Championship of Texas. We'll have the kickoff coming up right after this on Fox Sports Southwest.
Awesome game.
Coach of the Rattlers, Lee Fedora. Now let's hear from the head coach of the Gilmer Buckeyes, Jeff Traylor, on the sidelines with Jim Knox.
Coach, moments ago, you talked to your team before taking the field. What'd you tell them?
We're just very blessed to be here. We want to have a great time today, and we hope somehow what we do, the God's glorified somehow.
Navasota, they're loaded with talent. Along, they have the 3A Player of the Year. How do you beat them today?
They've got 8 all-state football players. We've got 1. The only people that believe we're going to win today is in Gilmer, so we got to limit the big play, try to block them.
Thank you, Coach. Craig?
All right, thanks very much, Jim. Navasota won the toss, elected to defer the option, so the Rattlers will kick it off. And ready to go. Here's the kickoff. And fielded on the run underneath and across the 20 is Chris Boyd. And Boyd will bring it out to the 35-yard line. Good starting field position for the Buckeyes, who are quarterbacked by junior Tanner Barr. Barr, this season, has accounted for over 2,800 yards through the air and 25 touchdown passes. Also can carry the football as well and has done that quite a bit, rushing to the tune of 849 yards. So they'll start from their own 35-yard line do the Buckeyes. And to the air, Barr throwing and connecting with Jaden Parrish coming out of the backfield. Parrish can catch the ball coming out of the backfield. That's his 34th reception of the year. As you take a look at our Ford starting lineup, Boyd, Parrish, who just made the catch there, Trey Washington, Slade Morris, and Chase Tate complete the backs and receivers. Jackson McQueen, Dylan Atkinson, Dylan Sampson, Brady English, and Mitch Lang, the big guys up front on the offensive line for the Buckeyes. First and 10 after that 12-yard pickup out to the 47-yard line, and this is Josh Walker turning the corner. We talked about Walker as a linebacker, but Bobby's more than capable of being able to run the football, has done that quite a bit. As we take a look at the Ford starting lineup, the defensive lineup for the Navasota Rattlers, and that includes the down linemen Jake Bauer, Jordan Wells, Desmond Calhoun, and Jordan Birdwell. The linebackers Dustin Savinsky, Jalen Miner, and Corey Imhoff. On second down, rolling to the right side, and out of bounds with another first down is Tanner Barr. And the secondary for the Rattlers, Jabrell Lipscomb, Deontay Taylor, Austin Collins, and Lamarcus Jefferson is going. And of course, we talked about it, Xavier Creeks, his impact felt and absence on both the offense and defensive side of the ball. He'd be starting in the secondary otherwise. Gilmer on the move in the Buckeyes with a first down at the Navasota Rattlers 43-yard line. Chris Boyd in the backfield, and coming around on the speed sweep is Walker again. And this time, actually, it's Chase Tate coming around the corner, and Tate wrapped up by Jalen Miner, who drops him for just a 1-yard pickup.
Really nice block that time off the edge. I'm not sure exactly who it was, but really a good job on that jet sweep, allowing his running back to get outside.
Second down. This time it's Janelle Jackson, the sophomore. We mentioned this is a very young Gilmer Buckeye team at a lot of the skill positions. They do have some seniors. Slade Morris is one. Obviously, Trey Washington, who's headed for SMU. Tanner Barr, the quarterback, is a junior, and several of the backs and receivers also juniors or sophomores. So it's third down and 7 for Gilmer Buckeyes at the Navasota Rattler 40-yard line. And before Tanner Barr can get it going, the whistles are sounding. This is a Fort Worth chapter of officials.
Ball start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat third down.
Monty Marcinell, the referee with the call. Jeff Traylor, 148 coaching victories at Gilmer. He's coached them to multiple state titles as well. Had them in the state championship game on other occasions. They've had some marvelous seasons under Coach Traylor. It's third and 12 from the 45. Barr under pressure over the middle, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dustin Savinsky. Savinsky closed quickly on it. It's his second interception of the year for the senior strong side linebacker.
You know, he had another big play earlier in the game where he was able to get to the ball carrier. Savinsky with 170 tackles this season. You can see good pressure there by Jordan Birdwell as Barr hit when he throws the ball. First turnover of the game.
So the turnover gives it to the top-ranked Rattlers, who operate from their own 38-yard line. And here's Kadarius Baker leading the Navasota offense onto the field to the ground, and Hunter Sparkman on the carry on first down, but met and dropped after a 1-yard gain. Adam Witcher, the linebacker, on the tackle. Impressive numbers for Kadarius Baker. Over 4,250 passing yards, the 53 touchdowns with 8 interceptions. 4 rushing touchdowns as well for Baker. We told you he's accounted for 57 scores overall, and Baker to throw on second down and unable to connect outside with Austin Collins, his senior receiver.
That's a long throw all the way across the field as the ball's on the right hash mark.
Take a look at the Ford starting lineup on offense for the Navasota Rattlers. Darian Randall, Hunter Sparkman, Solomon McGinty, Austin Collins, and Terrence Creeks out there. And on the offensive front, Jeremiah Williams, Bo Michi, Kyle Duffy, Tyler White, Michael Coffey. It is third down and 9 for the Rattlers from the Navasota 39. Baker looking to throw again. Now the pressure's coming, and Baker on the run. Cannot connect with Austin Collins. The pressure was starting to come around him, and as Baker rolled to the right, DeMarco Boyd, a freshman nose guard, was closing in on him, and he had to get rid of the football. So look at the Gilmer Buckeye defense. C.J. Williams, Xavier Fluellen, and Anthony Villafuerte, the down lineman. Josh Walker, you take a look at him there, the All-Stater at linebacker. Darius Johnson, Adam Witcher, and Brandon Barnes complete the 3-4, the down lineman. Devondrick Dixon, Dylan Bowman, Trey Washington, and Patrick Finch in the secondary for Gilmer. Giovanni Urbano to punt, and the kick is away. Dylan Bowman back deep to receive it, and signals for and makes the fair catch at the 25-yard line. So that's where the Rattlers will have it.
You don't want to get messed with Rocky down there. Our head official sounds like a world champion prize fighter. Rocky.
Have you had this crew before in a playoff game?
I have not.
Timeout on the field, and as we go to break, here's a special message from State Farm. Hi. Actually, it was a turnover for Gilmer the first time out, and then a punt by Navasota. Second possession for the Buckeyes, and we'll have that unusual formation, Bob, with the 4 receivers there in that diamond pattern up at the top of the screen on 1st down and 10. And Tanner Barr to the air, and it's incomplete. How about that formation, Bob, for that offense for the Buckeyes?
Well, just have the quarterback had an option to throw it over to the right, basically just like a lead play. Had he chose to throw him that way, the cornerback gave him a little bit of cushion on the left side. He decided to go to the left, but anyway, you know, you throw the ball out there like that, it's just a running play is all it is. You got guys leading in front of you.
2nd down and 10. And this time, tough going for Tanner Barr, trying to turn it upfield, and was pulled down right at the line of scrimmage by Jake Bauer. No gain on the play.
Jake Bauer, 120 tackles this year, 8 sacks. A big part of that Navasota Rattler defense.
It is 3rd down and 10 for the Buckeyes. Tanner Barr looking to throw with pressure coming, and to get rid of the ball, it's incomplete. That defense coming right up the middle. Jordan Wells, the junior defensive tackle. That's a guy with 153 stops this year. He and Jordan Birdwell teaming up to bring the heat.
He's got 61 tackles for loss. Just a 3-man rush that time by the Rattlers, able to get pressure on the quarterback, and this is going to cause the Gilmer Buckeyes to line up in a punt formation.
Austin Collins back deep to receive it. And it is Tanner Barr, the quarterback, who actually the punt away now, and it will bounce inside the 40-yard line as Dylan Bowman was doing the kicking, and it went out of bounds.
Interesting to hear Coach Traylor before the game. He's already working those mind games. What an incredible motivator he is. You know, 8 all-state players on the Navasota Rattler team. Gilmer only has 1. Poor me. Golly, just don't even know how we got here.
That sounds like a familiar story. You've worked that speech before, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been known to make it.
I'm telling you. Burnett, Coppell, Brownwood. It works at any classification level, right?
How about the Rotan Yellowhammers? Don't forget
there you
my
go.
hammers.
And of course. 1st and 10. Kadarius Baker out on the field. The ball from the Navasota 40-yard line, and it's a reverse. A back pass back to Baker's going deep. Goes to the left side, incomplete, and a flag is down. Darian Randall was downfield, and Baker was trying to go downfield, but we'll have a penalty here.
Man coverage down there on the outside with a cornerback. Wide receiver to the left side, runs a post and try to run the wheel route around outside, and the corner was able to come off and make the play.
Holding. Defense. 10-yard penalty. 1st down.
Well, the trick play doesn't work, but there's holding here somewhere, Bob, perhaps in the secondary.
Yeah, I'm sure it was on that wide receiver. We didn't quite see it on that play.
From the 50-yard line, a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10. Blitz look from Gilmer, and this should be a free play. Well, contact was made in the encroachment, and that'll be offsides against Gilmer, and it'll cost the Buckeyes 5 more yards.
Gilmer's done a great job defensively tying up the Rattler receivers.
False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
So the movement came from the Navasota side first. Someone flinched, and it winds up being first down and 15.
Gilmer really running a man under 2 deep zone, and the Rattler receivers are having a difficult time getting off the good receivers pressed up on the line of scrimmage. Safety's picking up anybody that gets deep behind them. There's a good shot of it there.
And now Baker back to throw again. Had some time now, being forced to throw the ball deep downfield and incomplete. That's a tough throw to make way across the opposite side of the field, trying to connect with Solomon McGinney, and couldn't do it.
Let's take a look at Josh Walker here, the junior we've been talking about. Coming in the bottom of the screen there, pressure on the quarterback, lights him up pretty good. You know, when you've got the kind of athletes Gilmer has, pressing those receivers at the line of scrimmage, and then you have pressure from the defensive front like the Buckeyes have gotten on the quarterback, it's going to be tough to get the ball away on a route down the field.
Second down at 15. Now down the field, the pass incomplete. Baker looking downfield and threw it kind of in between where 2 receivers were, and it brings up third down.
Once again, the Buckeye defensive backs doing a really good job pressing these receivers, the Rattler receivers, on the line of scrimmage, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Coach Fedor go to some man-type routes, shake some guys loose, either that or get the running game established, which of course is going to be a little bit different with Xavier Creeks not in the lineup, the 1,000-yard rusher. Obviously, we talked about him out with numerous fractures in his leg.
Darian Randall replacing him in the backfield, a sophomore. And back to throw on third down. Baker pass, but this one is going to lose yardage. Again, he came back to receive the ball, but dropped for a 3-yard loss by the senior corner, Patrick Finch. And it brings up fourth down for Navasota.
Really had an option of going down the field on this. You could either throw the inside screen there to the wide receiver or go downfield. The receivers typically blocking outside. They were released 2 receivers vertical, and they were covered up pretty good with that press man coverage that the Buckeyes are giving the Rattlers. And just Navasota Rattlers having a tough time against this Buckeye defense.
Dylan Bowman back deep to receive the kick from Giovanni Urbano. And Bowman puts down the knee with the catch at the 25-yard line. It's a 33-yard punt. And with 7:08 to go in the first quarter, Gilmer will prepare itself for its 3rd offensive series. I want to remind you, you can enter the State Farm Fan Up Sweepstakes for a chance at a Ford F-150 pickup. We're giving away an F-150 this weekend and another next spring. You can enter right now using your cell phone. Just text the word FAN UP, F-A-N-U-P, to 35350. Another way to enter is to visit the website at texas.statefarm.com. Enjoy the games and the memories that will last a lifetime. First down and 10. Here's Barr over the middle and a great catch. Leaning up is Jaden Parrish, coming out of the backfield, picks up 20 yards.
Parrish on a little beater route inside. 35th reception, I believe, on the year. Nice ball there by Barr.
Jaden Parrish, excellent job just getting those fingers completely extended to pull it down. We'll mark it at the 44, so call it a 19-yard gain, but it's first down and 10 for Gilmer. Following blocks is Chris Boyd, the sophomore, and turning it upfield for a pickup of 4 yards. Let's go down to the Gilmer bench. On the sidelines, our Jim Knox.
Thanks, Craig. And this Gilmer young defensive line gaining a lot of confidence as they continue to say, let's do 3 and out the rest of the way.
All right, Jim, thanks. Second down and 6. Pass overthrown because Trey Washington was open up the sideline, but Barr unable to connect with him, and it brings up third down.
Nice little route there. Had the back out the flat. Not really the flat, but out there where the receiver was lined up, putting pressure on that cornerback, and Quarterback had 3 choices there. Chose to go down the field to Washington.
3rd down and 6 from the 48. And again, Barr with time to throw. Another leaping grab by Parrish. And a 1st down. Down to the 37-yard line as Jaden Parrish pulls in another pass. And a 1st down.
Wide receiver Trey Washington running the coverage down the field. You can see kind of clearing it out as Jaden Parrish comes underneath. Makes his 35th reception of the year. 4 touchdowns.
Gilmer on the move. Parrish with 2 catches on this drive. On 1st down, this time back to the middle to Chris Boyd. Inside the 35 and down close to the 33-yard line. As he picked up 3 or 4, and it's Desmond Calhoun on the tackle. 2nd down. And 7. Knows the football just inside the Rattler 34. Stepping away from one tackler was Barr, but he's still under a lot of pressure. Now look at him scramble and gets rid of the football. Looked like he was going to go down not once but twice, Bob, and he was able to step away from the traffic and at least get rid of the ball.
Yeah, a little smash route that time. Inside receiver Trey Washington on the right side. Kind of head flash inside on a post route. Broke the corner route. Was open, but obviously Tanner Barr had somebody in his face and couldn't quite get the ball out down the field.
3rd down and 7. Barr, deep drop, setting up the screen, and picking up a block is Boyd. Chris Boyd. Lincoln tackles inside the 20 and a 1st down at the 19. Boyd with a 15-yard catch and run as he takes it down to the 14-yard line. Call it a 20-yard catch and run. Down to the 14, a 20-yard gain. LaMarcus Jefferson finally was able to wrestle him out of bounds.
Boyd rushed for almost 1,300 yards this year. Great job setting up that screen. Boyd does a great job running down the field. He's got the Buckeyes in the red zone.
On the move is Gilmer on 1st down. Back to the ground, cutting inside and down to the 11-yard line is Boyd. Brings up 2nd down and 7. Jordan Wells on the tackle. Boyd just a sophomore, but over 1,200 rushing yards this season and over 200 yards in receptions as well. 2nd down. Barr outside pass broken up. Nice break on the ball by Solomon McGinty coming in from his linebacker spot to break up the pass intended for Boyd.
Well, I thought McGinty might have that ball. It was back out of the backfield. McGinty saw it, try to break underneath the pass. Almost a big play. I think he'd have gone the distance at that time, probably 90 yards.
3rd down and a long 7 needed for the 1st. Closer to 8 yards needed for the 1st down. Barr to the end zone and cannot connect with Washington. There were 2 Rattler defenders closing the gap, and it brings up 4th down. Collins and Taylor were doing that, Bob. They are very, very cognizant, are the Rattlers in the secondary, of what Trey Washington's capable of doing.
Well, they are. They come back to the smash route that time and try to hit him on the corner route, but you know, it's probably a good thing he put the ball in the perfect place, because had he thrown it any shorter, it probably would have been intercepted.
Pablo Oliveras to try what will be a 29-yard field goal to get Gilmer on the board first. And the kick by Oliveras is good. So Gilmer does score first. The Navasota defense stiffens, forcing the Buckeyes to settle for 3, but Jeff Traylor's team is out of the gates with the lead. With 4:33 to go here in the 1st quarter, a 3-0 Gilmer Buckeye lead. We take a look at the roads to the state championship. First of all, for the Gilmer Buckeyes in advancing to the state title, you look at the quarterfinal matchup with Henderson. They'd already beaten Henderson once during the year. And Bob, that's not an easy thing to do, to go through and beat a team a 2nd time. They did that at a most impressive win over a very good Graham football team in the semifinals to reach the state championship round.
Well, you come out of that region in East Texas that Gilmer did, and you played some football teams, and you know, really for Gilmer to come out of that tough region the way they did, and you know, physically in pretty good shape. It's just treacherous down there. I mean, you know, just to get out of district down there is saying something. Then to get out of that region, you've really got to be on a roll. And obviously, Jeff Traylor, the one loss early in the season to Prestonwood, I believe, private school. Other than that, they have been rolling.
They did a good job. They had beaten Canton in by district and Atlanta in the area, and then real impressive win over Argyle in the regional round before going on to the quarterfinals. Navasota also impressive all the way through the playoffs. Blasted China Spring and Jasper, and then beat Lamarck in the regional before the big showdown with West Orange Stark, undefeated, beat them in the quarterfinals, and then a very good Belleville-Brema team that they defeated in the semifinals, and not an easy path to the finals for the Rattlers either.
Yeah, Lamarck, West Orange Stark, Belleville. My goodness, these two teams have certainly earned the right to play for the state championship.
Here's the kick from Oliveras, short, fielded by McGinney, and a fair catch. Signal for and made it. So it's 3-0 Gilmer as we welcome you to Cowboys Stadium here in Arlington. Greg Way, along with the coach, Bob Shipley, Jim Knox down on the sidelines, and our Fox Sports Southwest State Championship telecast crew from here at Cowboys Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Day number 2. We're right at the midway mark of the entire state championship weekend. 3 games yesterday. This is the second of 3 games today, and 3 tomorrow, crowning 9 state champions in the Lone Star State. Gilmer with the lead on top-ranked Navasota, 3-0. And the Rattlers back to work. Delayed draw, and Howard Horn, a senior running back, flattened by C.J. Williams, brought back. I know what a lot of folks are thinking, boy, if Xavier Creeks was in there, he probably finds a way to get away from that, but what they do have is Darian Randall and Howard Horn in the backfield, and the Gilmer defense was ready.
What an impressive job that time by the front. Again, you know, Rattlers trying to make something happen offensively. Looks like Gilmer's going to stay with this press man coverage. There's a good picture of it. 4-1 front, 2 free safeties.
Second down, a deep drop of the screen set up, and a lot of running room for Horn this time. Howard Horn all the way out near midfield. Middle screen set up for 24 yards and a first down before Adarius Johnson can make the tackle.
That was a great call by Coach Fedora. You're not going to outcoach this guy. I guarantee you, he's gonna keep tinkering around here and find a way to get his football team on the scoreboard.
Out to the 49-yard line after that catch and run. Howard Horn in the backfield with Kadarius Baker. It's Horn again on the left side. This time right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Xavier Flewellen and Brandon Barnes leading the charge for the Buckeye defense.
Tough to run that time. You know, you've got, they wound up having 2 backs and 3 wide receivers. And so Gilmer forced to run a 4-1 front with 4 wides. With only 3 wides, they could bring another guy back in and have a 4-2 front, a 6-man front. So you kind of pick your poison if you're Navasota. Split them out like they do now and have a 4-1 front, or have 2 running backs and bring another defensive player in.
Second and 10 from the 49. Again, the screen set up. This time set up to Austin Collins. Here goes Collins. He'll not be caught. 51 yards for the touchdown.
Austin Collins is 26th touchdown reception of the season. Over 1,700 yards, almost 90 receptions. What a great call.
Now consider this, Bob. The Rattlers drove it 70 yards in 4 plays and did it in a minute 47. They drove it officially 70 yards. But remember, they had a 5-yard penalty in there, so there was 75 yards in screen passes for the 2 touchdowns to cap a 70-yard drive. Howard Horn, the 24-yard reception, and then that one for 51 yards to Austin Collins. And the top-ranked Rattlers have the lead.
Austin Collins also a leader on the Rattler defense with 7 interceptions. You know, you love this Class A, 2A, 3A football. You see a lot of these guys playing on both sides of the ball. And I tell you what, after a 16-game schedule, Craig, these guys are wore out, I promise you.
Well, Lee Fedora is not. Got his team ready to go in this championship game. Of course, Lee, the brother of Larry Fedora, the head football coach at the University of North Carolina. Prior to that, Coach Fedora had been at Southern Mississippi, had success there, and also had served on the Oklahoma State coaching staff. So asked him the other day, how often do you talk to your brother? And he said, every day. Every day. He said, we share things every day.
Well, that's a great coaching family, the Fedoras, and keep thinking Lee's going to join his brother, but he's too busy trying to win state championships right now.
A squib kickoff and picked up by Devondre Dixon. And Dixon will take it across the 25-yard line, near the 25, and we go down to the Navasota sideline to Jim Knox.
All right, Craig, Austin College just scored the touchdown. He came over to the sideline and grabbed number 8. That's Xavier Creek's helmet and kissed it. Austin Collins right now, they have Xavier Creek's helmet on the bench to pay tribute to Xavier. Got in that car accident a couple days ago. Austin Collins, to say the least, very excited after that touchdown.
All right, thanks very much, Jim. 1st and 10 from the 22. Gilmer had a field goal drive, its last possession, and the Buckeyes go back to work. Tanner Barr in traffic, had his pass tipped and nearly intercepted. Jordan Wells, the defensive tackle, has brought a lot of pressure on the junior quarterback Tanner Barr early here, and he got his hand coming across Tanner Barr's arm here as he released.
Well, you can see him 3-man front that time. Wells just 13 sacks on the season. Just a nice bull rush that time.
End result, incomplete pass, 2nd down and 10. Barr rolling on an option, in trouble, wrapped up and dropped by Jake Bauer. That is tackle number 121 of the season for Bauer, and it goes for a loss of 3.
Little option that time by the Buckeyes. Bauer spends a lot of time. The senior defensive end has 8 sacks. He spends a lot of time on the other side of the line of scrimmage.
A really good job rolling down the line. They string it out and make the tackle, and now it's 3rd down and 13 from the 19. Barr hit again and taken down by the tandem of Wells and Bauer. Jordan Wells and Jake Bauer dropping Tanner Barr for a loss of 7 yards.
How about a Wells-Bauer sandwich that time? I'll tell you what, I'm very impressed with Jordan Wells, a junior. See him coming off the edge up here. He's just throwing people around like rag dolls.
And it will be Barr who will punt for Gilmer. Wobbly kick, fielded with some running room for LaMarcus Jefferson. And he's down near the 35-yard line. 33-yard punt, but a 10-yard return, an excellent field position for Navasota with just over a minute to go here in quarter number 1.
You know, you got the feeling, Craig, as Navasota had the ball in the first series, they were a little bit shaky, weren't really sure what to do without Xavier back there with them. And, boy, and then they really settled in that last time, and really nice job of play calling by Coach Fedora. Now they're in great field position now as they're really trying to put some pressure on this Gilmer Buckeye defense.
At the Gilmer 35. And an option toss outside with running room to Darian Randall. And that's a play, obviously, that Navasota runs with great effectiveness with Xavier Creeks. And in this case, it's Randall, the sophomore, who takes it for the first down.
Listen to this. Whew. Sophomore taking it like a man, isn't he?
Down to the 20-yard line. And now they'll run Collins at the quarterback. Now here's Collins off the direct snap, running a little wildcat set. And Collins takes it all the way down inside the 10. Josh Walker made the tackle, but it'll be 1st and goal for the Rattlers.
Well, I like the way he gets downhill on this. Austin Collins, a senior receiver coming in at You know, that's a pretty good call by Coach Fedora. You know, your star running back is out, so you put your athlete back there, Austin Collins, let him take a snap, let him make some plays back there.
But down in a Wildcat set, now he returns to his receiver spot, and Kadarius Baker is back in at quarterback on 1st and goal for Navasota from the Gilmer 6-yard line. Let's look from the Buckeyes. Baker keeping on the option, surging forward down to the 2-yard line, a pickup of 4 on what will be the final play of the first quarter. Well, Navasota having to go without Xavier Creeks and maybe a little slow starting in that first series. They gave up a field goal on the defensive side and then turned it around with a 70-yard touchdown drive, and now they're knocking at the door again. Into the first quarter of the Class 3A Division II State Football Championship from Cowboys Stadium in Arlington. The Navasota Rattlers leading the Gilmer Buckeyes 7-3. Navasota looking to add to a 7-3 lead as we begin the second quarter. Craig Way, Bob Shipley, Jim Knox with you from Cowboys Stadium in Arlington. This is the 3A Division II State Championship game. Stephenville won the 3A Division I crown a week ago as they garnered the title Friday night here at Cowboys Stadium a week ago, beating El Campo 70-35. Shotgun snap, straight in for the score, Kadarius Baker. Baker accounting for his 59th touchdown of the season. He had the pass on the screen, and now his 5th rushing touchdown of 2012.
Big guys up front getting it done. Sees a hole in there, little lane, cuts up, gets those pads down. Great job. You know, he hadn't had, actually, you know, when you consider his sacks and his rushes, he's really right about broke even on the year, but the guy takes it in that time to.
Michael Martinez has the kick blocked. Ball loose on the turf, still loose, and finally picked up by Washington. He'll go down. There was an opportunity early after Devondrick Dixon blocked the kick for one of the Buckeyes to pick it up and maybe even bring it back for 2. Instead, he was juggled around and winds up going for naught. There was also a flag on the play. Take a look at it here, Bob, and you'll see after the block by Dixon, Gilmer has a chance. Right here, and unable to come up with it was D. Thomas. He had a clear path to the end zone had he been able to come up with it. Wound up being Trey Washington who picked it up. And we had a flag, and here's the call.
Extra point is no good. We have a personal foul, face mask on Gilmer. It'll be attached on the kickoff, 15 yards.
So it must have happened after the point after try was blocked. So it'll be a 15-yard penalty tacked on coming on the kickoff, but the point after try is no good for Michael Martinez. Well, we've gone through the first quarter. We take a look at this State Farm stat, and Navasota able to do it all season long. How would you like to have that kind of balance, Bob? 408 rushes, 408 passes in the season, and they got 7 and 7 today.
Well, it's not by accident. I promise you that. Not going to get any tendencies on Coach Fedora. He's going to make you defend the entire field, vertically and horizontally. I don't understand that call, really. He didn't say dead ball. You'd think they would be able to attempt the extra point. A face mask on the defense. I don't understand that, but
the only thing I can think of, Bob, is that after the point after try was blocked, after it was scooped up by Washington as he started to return it, maybe there was a
change of possession.
He possessed the football
right.
at that point.
You're exactly right. Well, they certainly met down there and got the call right. I think you're exactly right. Change of possession.
Well, Navasota will kick off from the Gilmer 45, and this one will be booted right through the uprights and out of the end zone for a touchback. It'll come back to the 25-yard line as Michael Martinez kicked it out. So it's a 13-3 lead for Navasota with 11:55 to go in the first half. If you're Jeff Traylor, What do you get your offense going to try to do here down 10 points early second quarter?
Well, he's got so many receivers that he uses. He doesn't have one or two guys. He's got 4 or 5 guys that all have about 30, 35 receptions. Chase Tate, 56 receptions. He's got a lot of guys he can go to.
And he'll go to the air. That was not, but then the ball knocked out. It's an incomplete pass. Parrish had it in his hands, but it was pulled out. And the officials rule incomplete as Jaden Parrish was unable to hold on. So it's second down and 10. And Parrish was trying to turn, but he had not taken a step after the catch, and that's why it's ruled an incomplete pass.
Parrish also the backup quarterback for the Buckeyes.
Second down. On that zone read off the left side is Jamel Jackson, a sophomore. Picks up about 6. Jalen Minor, senior middle linebacker, on the tackle. Now third down coming up for Gilmer.
Minor with the 155 tackles coming into this game. One of the 2 leading tacklers for the Navasota Rattler defense.
Third down. A long 3 needed for the first. Back to the ground. Not this time. Chris Boyd wrapped up. Plenty of Rattlers around him. Jordan Wells was there. Also Corey Imhoff, younger brother, linebacker. The older Imhoff, you heard Lee Fedor talk about it at the start of the ballgame. Will Imhoff, who suffered a broken leg in the win over West Orange Stark, but able to be with the team today.
Jordan Wells, look at him. Wow.
We have timeout. Gilmer, first team timeout.
That guy is a beast. Only a junior. I tell you, he knows how to finish a tackle, doesn't he? I think maybe some of the Gilmer fans are wanting a horse collar, but I think that was just a Wells collar on that baby.
13-3 the score. Gilmer facing a fourth down coming up. Of course, it's a snake with legs. He kind of looks a little like a dinosaur there, but he's been a tough reptile so far for Gilmer to try to break through. Now the Buckeyes are going to go for it on 4th down and 4 from their own 31-yard line, or in this case it'll be a punt from Barr. Remember, he doubles as the punter, and because Navasota had to play up expecting to go for it, nobody back to receive it. This is going to work out well for the Buckeyes. That booming kick gets a great roll inside the 20 and down 51 yards on the punt. But it's been tough for the Buckeyes here because the Navasota defense has been causing the Gilmer offense some difficulties.
Yes, I've been very impressed with this Navasota front. These 3 guys up front getting pressure on the quarterback. Good pursuit there on the option. Going deep in the well right there. Wow.
A lot of pressure on Tanner Barr. Now the Rattlers go back to work on offense from their own 18. Handing it to Collins, sweeping around the corner. The Buckeye defense strung it out well, and Josh Walker, the first man to get to him. It's only a gain of a yard.
That was a nice job by Walker, playing off his block and keeping himself parallel to the line.
We'll mark it at the line of scrimmage. 5 shutouts this season for the Rattlers, including 4 in a row. Second down and 10 at the 18-yard line. Kadarius Baker now did not like what he saw, and a timeout called by Lee Fedor. So the Rattlers call time here with 9:55 to go.
Navasota, first team timeout, first half.
Chance to talk about it here with the Rattlers up by a score of 13-3. Now, Bob, I wanted to ask you, we talked about the loss of Xavier Creeks, and it's a big blow to the Navasota Rattler team. Lee Fedor, you know, how as a coach you handle something like this, because it's uncharted territory for your team to have it 24 hours, a little over 24 hours to kick off, and you got to go into a game when the game plan all along had him him being a big part of it.
Well, they did, and he's had the unfortunate circumstance that every coach hates, and that's getting that phone call. And, you know, you try to get your kids focused on the game, and then, you know, like a mother hen, you've got to bring your chicks in, and you've got to get them, you know, they're worried about their teammate, but at the same time, you know, you've still got a game to play. And thankfully, Xavier was going to be okay from the wreck. Broke 20-something bones in his leg. Not something you want to deal with on the eve of the state championship game, but you know, that's life, and it's a good lesson for these kids to learn, and an opportunity for Coach Fedora to, you know, life's not always going to roll your way, and it's how you respond to this adversity and stay focused on the goal at hand. And I think he's done a great job of getting his kids ready to play, and those guys getting focused back on the game at hand here.
All the Navasota players wearing the number 8 on the back of their helmet, thinking of their teammate Xavier Creeks. 3rd down and 10, and Baker under a lot of pressure. Downfield, and the catch made. And a stiff arm afterwards on the run by Solomon McGinney. It'll be a 1st down. Takes it out of the 40-yard line. A 22-yard pickup. Devondre Dixon on the tackle. How about the calm, collected nature of Kadarius Baker to scramble out, roll out, and find McGinney?
Well, that's how you throw for over 4,000 yards in a season. And of course, when you're in trouble, you look for your go-to guy. That's Solomon McGinney. Over 80 catches this year, over 1,600 yards, 20 touchdowns. Sees his quarterback scrambling, he gets open. And that's not something that just happens. That's something I'm sure that Coach Fedora works scramble drill with his kids to. Everybody knows where everybody's going to be.
Darian Randall, Hunter Sparkman in the backfield. It's Randall on 1st down. From the 40 up to the 43-yard line. Tackle made by Adam Witcher. 2nd down and 7 for the Rattlers.
Witcher got some battle scars on his helmet. You know, you don't clean up those helmets, Greg.
You let them stay as they are.
Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, baby. Those things are, we were talking yesterday, they're about $225, $250 a piece. They're not cheap, but they do a great job. I tell you, the technology has come a long way protecting these kids, and of course concussions with so many of the conferences you have now on concussions.
Here's Baker rolling and then connecting with Terrence Creeks. On the outside, and Creeks pulls it in for a 7-yard gain. It's right at the 1st down marker. They may choose to measure this from the spot of the football. And I think that's what they'll do. They'll go ahead and measure to see if it is enough. Of course, they only have to bring it out about a couple of feet just to measure. Bring out the chains.
I don't think he just got that football out of the box. What do you think?
Yeah, that one's been used a bit, huh? It is enough for the 1st down. It's like being up there in Northeast Texas on a Friday night.
Quarterbacks like those balls that have been around the block a time or two. Practice with them for a while. Get the newness off of them.
Receivers like it too, don't they?
Oh, yeah. I had a great coach in college, Ted Sitton. I said, what kind of ball you let your quarterbacks throw, Coach Sitton? He said, whatever kind those receivers want to catch.
There you go. 1st and 10 from midfield. And they sent the inside screen up to McGinney, but it is just blown up by Josh Walker. Boy, and you're going to hear another collision here because we could hear it from way upstairs as Walker just came right in on McGinney and hit him, popped him pretty good.
It takes a lot of courage for a receiver lined up outside to turn around and come back into the teeth of the defense, and you're just hoping that there's not a collision like that. I tell you, that play is, we were talking about that yesterday. That's a scary play. I don't like it. The only time I like it is when it scores.
It's a good play then.
It's a good play then. Other than that, I wouldn't give you 2 cents for it.
2nd down and 12 from the 48. This time, Baker being pressured, has to throw the ball away. Coming from the backside, closing was Adam Witcher. The linebacker's already been in on a couple of tackles, and he was closing the gap quickly on Kadarius Baker, and he got rid of the ball, and it brings up 3rd down.
You know, sometimes as a coach, you run a play like that, and you know the probability of it working is not all that great. If it does work, it's going to go for a big play because you're going against the grain, but you're also setting plays up with that. You'll see him in a little bit maybe pump the ball there, and one of the receivers that has been out blocking fakes a block, turns it up the sidelines, and take a chance for a big play.
3rd down and 12 from the 48. Blitz coming from Gilmer, and then breaking right past it is Randall. Say goodnight to it. Darian Randall, 52 yards.
Wow, I'd like to have a sophomore backup like that on my team. Goodness gracious. I tell you what, that was a great call that time. Coach Fedora caught the Gilmer Buckeyes in a blitz, and young sophomore Darian Randall slips right past all of it.
I was with somebody one time who asked a coach, and we were preparing to do a game about run blitzing, and the coach said, what difference does it make? It's a run blitz, a pass blitz, it's a blitz. And if you don't get the guy coming on the run, he's gone to the house, and that's what we just saw there.
No doubt, it's a roll of the dice.
For the conversion, Martinez. The kick is good. And now Navasota with a 20-3 lead with a second quarter DQ big play of the game right here, Bob Shipley.
Well, just a nice zone read there. Obviously, Kadarius Baker sees it's a give. Darian Randall does the rest. Of course, couldn't do it without nice blocking up front, but you don't have to block them long when they're blitzing like that. Just got to shield them off a little bit. The DQ big play of the game by sophomore Darian Randall. There's a good shot right there. It's a counter play. Okay. One guy kicking out, the other one leading up.
Counter against the blitz.
Well, that's feast or famine. One thing that hurts a counter is penetration, but we're able to do a good job of. Yeah, somebody got a hand on him, but that's about it.
One move to get past Adam Witcher. And the rest was on the legs of the sophomore.
That was an NFL film shot right there.
Yeah. Being at Cowboy Stadium kind of puts you in the mood for that.
NFL films of the Oakland Raider.
Absolutely.
I don't remember who it was.
Willie Brown. 75 yards on the interception return.
Oh, my goodness. I'll never forget that. Almost a Willie Brown Oakland Raiders moment. Or was that back in the L.A. Raiders?
That was Oakland. Super Bowl 11. 75-yard interception return. And the old great Oakland Raider announcer, Bill King, saying, "Old man Willie is going all the way." That was 75 yards. In this case, that particular run was 52 by Darian Randall.
That was a great shot there by our Fox Sports crew down there.
Here's a kickoff, a little squibber, and it takes a hop, but then is fielded on the hop by Boyd. And here's Boyd. Cut it back to the center of the field. Have a nice return. Well, that's one of those kickoffs when you as a coach, Bob, and you see it skip like that and your team's receiving, that makes your heart skip a beat to see the ball skip like that, doesn't it?
Well, it really does. It's just squib kick is one of those kicks that if they get on it, if it hits somebody early, you got a chance to get on the ball.
Coming up on the Ford halftime show, obviously a dance team. Also, a review of the first half action. Rick Renner, Randy Rogers, looking back at the earlier state championship action today. First down and getting rid of the football was Tanner Barr. He was in the arms of Jake Bauer. He was able to get it back to the line of scrimmage and was just outside the tackle box.
Yeah, that was my initial response there. I wondered if it was going to be a intentional grounding, but
just got outside the box and just got it back to the line of scrimmage. Have to have both of those check marks.
I love that Jake Bauer. Love that Navasota front.
Back to the ground. Jamel Jackson.
Jordan Wells once again.
Wells filling the void. And it is now 3rd down and 7 after a 3-yard gain. Gilmer had a 3-0 lead in this, but 3 unanswered touchdowns for the Rattlers. And Gilmer trying to fight back here before the first half is done. 3rd down. Under pressure again. Barr trying to get rid of it. And does again. Jordan Wells, what a first half he's having.
Not on my watch, says Jordan Wells. I'll tell you what, they're going to have to come up with a different scheme of blocking that guy. It's going to be a long, long day for the Gilmer Buckeyes with him running loose like that.
4th down and Barr to punt it. And the dangerous Austin Collins back to receive it. Barr with the kick. Collins inside his own 20. And up to the 26-yard line. 41-yard pump, the 6-yard return. And it becomes important now, Bob, for the Gilmer defense to get a stop here. Don't let this deficit grow any larger than 17 points before the half is done.
Boy, that's the truth. You got a manageable game at this point. Certainly don't want to give them a 3-touchdown lead.
So 20-3 the score. Lee Fedora's team with the ball, the lead, and for the moment, command of this 3A Division II championship game. And Kadarius Baker back at work on the offensive side. Baker to the air. Nice catch and a run afterwards by McGinney. 1st down. Takes it across to the 45-yard line.
Wow, that was a really nice route that time by Solomon McGinney. Going hard down the sidelines, making the defender who's pressing him in coverage think he's going to run a go route. Pat breaks out. Ball waiting there for him. Kadarius Baker put it right on the money.
His 85th catch of the season. Baker with a glance to the sideline for the play call. Back to the ground. Big running room. This time it's Howard Horn. Inside the 30. And Horn brought down at the 18-yard line. Howard Horn turns this one into a big gainer, 37 yards.
Well, I love the job Coach Fedora's doing. You know, we were talking in the first quarter about the defense that the Gilmer Buckeyes are playing, trying to play man under 2 deep. You've got to run a 4-1 front if there's 4 wides when that happens. And so there's 5 guys in the box, 4 down linemen. Coach Fedora said, okay, we're just going to run it right up the middle. The receivers do a good job of running off the 4 defensive backs that are covering them.
There's Navasota trying to get a stranglehold on this game right now. Back to the ground again. Again, it's Howard Horn. Inside the 5. It'll be 1st and goal at the 4-yard line for the Rattlers. 14 more yards.
Here's a good shot from the end zone. Power play. Backside lineman pulling around. Boy, I'm really impressed with that Navasota offensive line. They've done a great job tonight.
1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
Howard Horn and Darian Randall filling in for Xavier Creeks really well.
Lee Fedora was about 20 yards onto the field trying to get the attention of the officials, and finally it was Terrence Creeks who turned around and said, we need a timeout.
Navasota, 2nd team timeout, 1st half.
Coach Fedora saw something that he didn't like and wanted to get the timeout. You ever have to walk that far out on the field to try to get an official's attention to call a timeout?
Oh, I've got a rule. I've got a personal rule. I don't ever go on the field.
Yeah, sure you don't.
I've had assistant coaches. I'm on the numbers, and they're pulling me to get back.
So if I were to, like, call up, you know, say officials from like Big Country chapter of officials or somewhere out there, they would confirm that. Then.
Yeah, Fort Worth, our first game. Yeah. All these guys, these officials do a great job. You know, they're not paid near what we make them earn.
Well, Navasota pounding the ball on the ground even without Xavier Creeks. The overwhelming edge on the ground right now. And Lee Fedora wanting to make sure his guys take advantage of this opportunity and expand the lead even more. So it's 1st and goal at the 4. And once again back into that Wildcat set, and Austin Collins ready to take the snap. He's looking back to Coach Fedora for the instruction first. has Howard Horn. There in the backfield and offset to his right. Rolling straight around. Collins. Buckeyes were ready for it, and they stop him for no gain. Adam Witcher, who's been in on some tackles here in this first half for Gilmer, along with Xavier Fluellen to make the tackle for the Buckeyes.
Second time we've seen Collins in the Wildcat near the goal line. I like the way he doesn't try to make something happen outside when it's not there and lose yardage. He zone blocking up front. He tries to find a crease and get downhill. Good stand there by the Buckeyes as they've really got their backs up against the wall here. We were talking a while ago, 3:55 to go in the second quarter. You really got to do everything you can to keep them out of the end zone.
Second down and goal. Horn in the backfield with Baker back at quarterback, and there's Baker looking for a target to the end zone, and that is caught. Austin Collins pulls it in for the touchdown. What a grab by Collins.
Solomon McGinney, Austin Collins, two guys that any quarterback would be proud to have. And, you know, those Gilmer Buckeyes are not giving them much room. I mean, you got to get that ball right on target because these guys are covered like a blanket. He throws it perfectly. Here's a good shot. Let's see what we got here. Oh, what a catch. I tell you what, that was unbelievable. I don't know if that would get overturned. Greg, what do you think?
Yeah, well, that's one of the ones where if it's replayed, they'd look at it and say, is there enough evidence to overturn the call on the field? Of course, doesn't apply in high school football. So the touchdown stands. Now, Jeff Traylor doesn't agree with the call, certainly. He said, I'm over here, and I could see it wasn't a catch. He didn't think it was a catch. Here's another look. Now, the question is...
We have timeout. Gilmer, second team timeout, second half. First half.
Does it bounce off the turf there? The hands are underneath.
You know, the first time I thought maybe it did, but that time I don't think it did. Here's a great shot. Well, great camera shots by our crew down there.
He's got the hands underneath and it pulls it in. Boy, that's close. In any event, I don't know if it'd be enough to overturn it if you used replay in high school football. That might be one of the deals where they say the call stands, not necessarily the call is
Look at the
confirmed.
official. He's right on top of it. What a great job. I think it's a good call.
So it stands. Martinez for the conversion.
Of course, I'm not on the other sidelines.
No, you're not. And that kick, by the way, missed off to the right. So Navasota has misfired on a couple of conversions, but not much else. Spectacular grab by Austin Collins extends the lead.
State Farm.
Family there. And there you go. Navasota enjoying a 26-3 lead here late in the first half of this 3A Division II state championship. Another pop-up kick fielded at the 25-yard line by Brandon Barnes. Barnes still on his feet. Nice return across the 45-yard line. 22-yard return. There is time for Gilmer if they can get it in the end zone and feel like perhaps start to climb back into this football game. But needing some consistency on offense, and that has been difficult to come by here in the first half, Bob.
Well, it has. You know, Coach Traylor, it's not his first rodeo. He'll have these guys going. He'll get them back in the game if anybody can. Young football team, probably a little rattled.
Tanner Barr. Josh Walker in the backfield with him. Now swings a pass out. It's a double pass downfield and incomplete. Chase Tate threw the ball downfield. He was looking for Josh Walker, but overthrew him. And we'll go down to the Gilmer sideline to Jim Knox.
All right, believe it or not, Craig, Gilmer sidelines, the spirits still are up. The reason why, this is a comeback team. They're young. 5 times this year they've come from behind. The biggest deficit against Henderson, they came from 21 points down. Of course, Navasota, a state championship looking team right now. It'll be a much difficult task, but this team is used to coming back.
Well, it certainly helped the cause if they can get something going on this drive from good field position. Tate coming around and pulling it back in is Barr. And takes it all the way down near the 40-yard line. Pickup of 11 and a first down. Jalen Miner the tackle. So there's time for Gilmer here in the first half. Buckeyes with a timeout. Just over 3 minutes to go in the half, and so they still have an opportunity as they move it here. Down to the Navasota 41. Pass, a flag comes down. The pass is incomplete. It was intended for Patrick Finch, and French Eric Powell, sophomore safety, broke it up.
He might have got there a little bit early.
There also might have been someone jumping across the line a little quickly, it looked like, for the Rattlers, but we'll let the fellas from the Fort Worth chapter tell us.
Oh, defense, 10-yard penalty, first down.
So defensive holding the call. And that'll move it down to the 31-yard line. So here's a real opportunity for Gilmer if they can punch it in and get down the field and try to get back to where they can climb back into this football game.
Well, especially if they can get a touchdown and not let Navasota have a chance to answer to go in with some momentum at halftime.
Back to the ground. And Chris Boyd running into a lot of traffic.
Jordan Birdwell making the first hit.
And you see our friend Mr. Wells in on the tackle again. Jordan Wells right there. He is just all around the football today.
Oh, that was Wells. Savinsky coming in, finishing him off.
2nd and 11 after a 1-yard loss. Around the corner is Jamel Jackson, and down he goes. This time Solomon McGinney. Excellent lateral pursuit to make the hit. It brings up 3rd down.
I really thought they had good blocking. You know, they got the line doing a great job. Zone blocking outside. But the pursuit just too much.
3rd and 11. And Barr looking to throw, but a lot of trouble, and down he goes to the 40-yard line. Tried to stop his feet, but he was chased by Jalen Miner, and then as he stopped to avoid Jordan Birdwell, the feet going out from under him, and it brings up 4th down.
Here's a replay. You know, sprint out, going to try to get a little more protection. They're not having a lot of protection on the drop back, so you sprint out. And those 3 down linemen for the Rattlers have been very active this first half.
Under a minute and a half to go in the half, and on 4th down and 20, Barr will backpedal and pooch kick it. Angling for the sideline, and he'll be able to achieve that inside the 20-yard line with the football going out of bounds.
You know, I was kind of jesting at Coach Traylor a little bit earlier. You know, he said, hey, we've got 8 first-team All-Staters. We have 1. You know what? He was right.
That's right.
Oh, my goodness. He knew exactly what he was talking about. Jeff's seen a lot of great players. You talking about All-State players. He's had a lot of All-State players, a lot of Division I. You know, Gilmer's had the talent, but they never have been able to really put it together like they have since Coach Traylor's been there. You know, having grown up and played in Burnett and then having the opportunity to go back and coach them in 2 state championship games, I know a little bit about what Coach Traylor's been able to do. A Gilmer boy goes off to Jacksonville, comes back in 2000, gets a head job, and just has been here 7 of 10 years.
Done a wonderful job. Darian Randall dropped in the backfield. Now a minute remaining in the first half, and Navasota may be content with taking a 23-point lead to the locker room at halftime.
You know, there's a lot of teams with talent out there, but it takes a special coach to harness that talent, give it the discipline that it needs. Good assistant coaches are always a key behind any good head coach. These 2 guys will tell you that. These 2 guys are class guys, 2 of the best coaches in the state, in my opinion. They've got great assistant coaches, too.
2nd down. And 11, and a handoff to Randall one more time, and again brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Adam Witcher makes the tackle, a loss of a yard, and Navasota content just to let the clock run out here and take that lead to the locker room at halftime. What a performance by the top-ranked team in the state. Even without Xavier Creeks today, they have looked every bit the part of number 1. So halftime here at Cowboys Stadium in Arlington. And the Navasota Rattlers in control of this one here with a 26-3 lead here at the intermission.
You know, I had a little experience kind of like this one time with Everman in the state championship game down at the Alamo Dome. They had a we were winning the game. We were going down to score again. They had a free safety, Corey Fulbright, that was paralyzed on a big hit he made with his head down. And you know, you wonder how's the team going to respond to that. Everman was down. They were losing the game. Corey Fulbright, we didn't know if he was dead or paralyzed. We knew it was serious. And then for him to be able to, that team came back and rallied around their teammates. The teammates rallied around their fallen hero a lot like the Rattlers have.
They have done just that, and the head coach Lee Fedora on the sidelines with Jim Knox.
All right, thanks, Craig. Coach, I tell you what, Gilmer jumped out to a quick 3-0 lead, and I think that made your club upset. You guys came back and offensively playing extremely well. Talk about your offense approaching 300 total yards right now.
Well, big thing is execution, you know, taking what we did. We knew the first couple drives, we had to see what they game planned all week long on their defense. Once we saw what they did, we started going to plays we felt like that would work.
Emotionally, how's this team doing right now? It seems like you guys are playing with a great deal of emotion. Austin College makes the touchdown and comes back and kisses the helmet number 8. You guys definitely playing for Xavier.
Well, because we know Xavier's watching right now. It's all for him.
All right, Coach, thank you for the time. Craig?
All right, that says it all right there.
Wow.
And Xavier, indeed you are watching us. Hey, take some heart. Look at the young man Darian Randall playing for you and the rest of your teammates. It's Navasota leading 26-3, and a special message from your Texas Ford dealers. We get ready to start the second half. Navasota with a 26-3 lead on Gilmer in the 3A Division II state championship. And Bob Shipley, they've had a lot of big moments, have the Rattlers in the first half in building this 23-point lead.
Well, they have, and I tell you what's been impressive is their defense. You know, of course you can't look at the Rattlers without looking at their quarterback, Kadarius. Screen pass for the touchdown. Austin Collins.
And then Baker being able to do what he does best, duck in and run, and then getting the other backs involved as well. First of all, great catch there by Collins, but Darian Randall and Howard Horn had big moments in the first half as well.
They really had. You wondered who in the world was going to step up. We saw who did. Then you look at the Navasota defense and the pressure that they're putting on the quarterback all night long. It's been a long, long game for Tanner Barr. Time and time again, Wells in on the tackle. Tanner's going to be sore tomorrow.
Just big hits by Wells throughout the course of this first half. The Navasota with plenty of defense. Gilmer getting ready to kick off. And the Rattlers will get it again here to start this third quarter.
Now look over here to the left, Greg. Gilmer has a man hidden out over on the sideline. They push the ball over there to him. He's going to have it.
How about that? How about that? That is an unusual onside kick. Look at that. Nobody picked up Devondrick Dixon, and Gilmer will have the football in good field position to start the third quarter.
Yeah. See him hidden up front. You know, they spread out wide for the regular kickoff, and then he called them all back in like they were going to onside the rumbling herd as they called it. When they did that, Dixon stayed on the sidelines, and it's perfectly legal. In fact, we ran it in the Bi-District game this year and had a perfect kick and a perfect catch, but our guys, they had one guy in that rumbling herd huddle that was 6 yards off the ball instead of the new rule 5 yards off the ball, so we didn't get the opening kickoff of the second half, but Gilmer executes it perfectly.
Well, there was a lot of conversation with the officials, but you say that is a perfectly legal play.
Yeah, it's legal. Everybody lined up. They spread out for a regular kickoff, and they called everybody back in except one who stayed right on inbounds along the sideline.
So the Buckeyes have the football from the 45-yard line of Navasota, and then Barr immediately hit and knocked down by Dustin Savinsky. Take a look at the Ford first half stats, and there it is. A lot of impressive numbers there. Very balanced, as they have been all season long, the Rattlers, in rushing and passing, and holding Gilmer to just 88 yards of total offense. Second down and 9. It's Chris Boyd. Boyd losing the football, and Navasota says they've come up with it. Now there's a tie-up. Let's see if they award possession to the Rattlers. They say he was down, and if it's a dual possession, it would stay with Gilmer.
That was Desmond Cow. But here's a good look at it.
Chris Boyd.
Well, you know, Wells in on the tackle.
So it's third down and 8. Barr. Too much on it, and it's a shame too, because there was room for Josh Walker had the pass been in his hands. He'd have been able to turn it upfield and might have had a shot to pick up the first down. Now it's 4th down and 8, and down 23 points here early in the third quarter in plus territory. Bob, what does Jeff Traylor do here?
No doubt. Got to get some momentum. Well, you've got to keep the ball away from Navasota too, but you know, he doesn't have any choice. They've got to go for it here, I think. I would.
4th down and 8. Barr is looking to throw or run. Can he get to the marker? Right at it. Depends on the spot. Coy Imhoff brought him down, but if he's right on the 35, it should be enough for the first down. Let's see how they spot it, and it is enough. Boy, just enough for Tanner Barr.
Well, Tanner's done it for him all season with his arm and with his legs. That time a heads-up play. You see him before he went down. He looked over at the sideline, saw the down marker, and made sure that he got across the 35-yard line.
Extending the football. Barr being chased again and forced to run, and manages to pick up 5 yards. Savinsky with the tackle. Barr on the rollout was looking downfield for somebody, and all the receivers well covered by Navasota defenders.
Barr again trying to run for his life. You know, I haven't seen Navasota play this year, but I really underestimated what I've read about their defensive front. They are really, I don't know that Gilmer's seen anybody like this year.
2nd down and 5. Barr again looking to throw. Again the pressure coming. Barr once more flushed out and having to get rid of it. Downfield, Patrick Finch was in the area, but was covered by Jabril Lipscomb, and it's now 3rd down and 5.
You know, I wonder that time if the Navasota defense wasn't playing for a screen. If you noticed, we had a good shot of them. They're kind of playing off a little bit, not rushing a lot. Gives Tanner Barr a chance to run around a little bit, tries to go downfield to his playmaker, but brings up a big 3rd and 5 for the Buckeyes.
The Buckeyes only 2 out of 10 on 3rd downs today. Handoff to Walker. And this is close to the first down, but still a little shy. Jake Bauer, Jordan Wells in on the tackle. Another 4th down coming up for Gilmer as Walker is brought down at the 27. So 2 yards short of the first down. Second 4th down situation faced by Gilmer on this drive.
Unbalanced line.
4th and 2 with
Unbalanced
Walker
formation.
a running back, but looking to throw is Barr. Pressure coming. Barr going to run for the first down and has it. Wow. 4th down and 2, and Tanner Barr found a way to make it happen. He picks up 8 yards.
Well, you can see here they're going to fake the jet sweep and run a bootleg. Well, Tanner's really got great feet, good vision, knows where the sticks are, gets upfield, gets inside the red zone.
So from the 19, first down Gilmer. Barr again under pressure. Again will run the football. And he'll settle for 6 yards. Takes it down to the 13-yard line. Savinsky and Calhoun on the tackle for the Rattlers. Well, Tanner Barr's wanting to throw the football, Bob, but he's having to settle for runs and yet getting positive yardage out of it.
Yeah, he is. He's done a great job on this drive.
2nd down and 4 from the Navasota 13. Lee Fedora on the field again wanting a timeout and has one there for his defense. here with 8:29 to go in the third quarter. Gilmer recovered.
Timeout. Navasota, first team timeout, second half.
A surprise onside kick for the Buckeyes to open the second half. They've converted 2 fourth downs on this drive and now facing 2nd and 4 at the Navasota 13-yard line.
Well, not a bad timeout for Coach Traylor and the Buckeyes as well to have a chance on 2nd and 4. Make sure they have a good play call. Tanner Barr making some nice decisions on this drive. Coach Traylor had a lot of opportunities to move on out of Gilmer, I'm sure. I know he has.
He's been one of the most successful coaches in the state over the past 7-8 years. Well, he's done a tremendous job in his 13th season and 148 career victories.
Winningest 3A program since 2000.
And of course, played at Gilmer.
Wow.
Back of the 80s.
That's bad. Oh, that's bad, Jeff. I don't know who turned that picture in, bud, but that stash is scaring me.
Very 1980s. It is 2nd and 4 from the 13. Back to the ground to Walker. Walker bounding forward and close to the first down inside the 10. Jalen Minor on the tackle. From where they're spotting the football, looks like it's a little bit short. It'll be 3rd down and less than 1 needed for the first.
Neither team huddle. You know, huddles are almost a thing of the past until you see a team like Katy. Boy, Katy's traditional. They do it the old-fashioned way. And, you know, it works. It works both ways. Teams are successful doing what they do. But I tell you what, every successful team does. They're good at the fundamentals, and they don't make mistakes.
There you see the distance lacking for Gilmer to pick up another first down. Well, the Katy Tigers will play in the 2nd state championship game tomorrow at 4 o'clock. The 5A Division II matchup with the Cedar Hill Longhorns. That's game 2 of the 3 games. Mark, Katy, the #1 team in the state of Texas in 5A, ranked nationally in those national polls as well.
Got a great running back. Boy, that was an impressive semifinal win last week on Fox Southwest.
No doubt about it, beating Cibolo Steel to reach the championship round. 3rd down and about a foot needed for the first. On the ground to Walker. And popped hard, and I don't think Walker picked it up. McGinney stuffed him before he could pick up the necessary yardage as Josh Walker tried to bounce it outside, and Solomon McGinney kept him from being able to turn the corner.
I don't know if he made it back to the line of scrimmage. McGinney also big plays on offense, big plays on defense right here.
They're going to put the ball on the 10-yard line, so lost about a half yard, and it's a full yard needed for the first down. This is the 3rd 4th down situation Gilmer has faced on this drive to open the second half. This time turning it inside, sliding down, and it'll depend on the spot. Chase Tate looked like he was going to have enough, and then he slipped a little going forward. Let's see where they spot it.
This is really going to be close.
Buckeyes think they have it. And from where it's spotted, it looks like it might be enough, but they'll bring the chains out as Chase Tate turned it inside and looked like he was going to have plenty of room, and then feet slipped a little bit.
He did. He slipped a little bit. Solomon McGinney waiting outside for him.
There it is. Less than the length of a football, but it is enough for a first down. To be 1st and goal at the 9. The 3rd 4th down conversion for the Buckeyes on this drive after recovering the onside kick to open the second half.
That's what great football teams do. They come through with plays when they have to.
1st and goal, Gilmer from the 9. To Walker again. Walker started to break through, and then adjustments made by the Rattlers. Pickup of a yard. LaMarcus Jefferson on the tackle. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 8. So 2nd down and goal from the 8 coming up for the Gilmer Buckeyes here in the 3A Division II State High School Football Championship of Texas from Cowboys Stadium in Arlington. Craig Way alongside Bob Shipley, Jim Knox, and a Fox Sports Southwest crew here. Navasota, #1 team in the state, leading Gilmer 26-3. Second down and goal. Barr looking to throw or run. The move inside, and Barr down to the 4-yard line. A pickup of 4, and Solomon McGinney on the tackle. It'll be third down and goal for Gilmer. Buckeyes scored first, a first-quarter field goal to lead 3-0, but Navasota's come back with 26 unanswered. Now Gilmer looking for its first touchdown of the day.
Well, that's great defense. What a tackle right there. Formed tackle by Solomon McGinney. How many times, Craig, have you seen teams down there on the goal line like that run a play-action bootleg and there's somebody either wide open or the quarterback goes in untouched? Great defense that time by the Navasota Rattlers.
Third and goal for Gilmer at the Rattler 4. Tanner Barr, quick pass, cutting inside is Washington, and Trey Washington only good for a yard to the 3, and it'll be 4th and goal, and this will be the fourth down situation Gilmer has faced on this drive.
Here's a good look right here, hoping that find a crease to get up there and score, but Navasota defense says, now you're going to have to work for this touchdown.
Here it is on the 16th play of the drive. 4th and goal. Barr to run. Lost it in the end zone. And a touchback. He was trying to extend the football across the goal line and lost it through the end zone. 16 plays, 43 yards, over 6 minutes, and the Buckeyes come up empty-handed. As did Tanner Barr there, trying to extend the ball across the goal line.
Yeah, I'm not so sure on that time that it wasn't Jake Bauer that knocked that ball loose.
I think you may be right. Bauer may have come from behind to poke it out.
I know Coach Traylor's disappointed his team. Such an incredible drive, show of heart all the way down the field, trying to convert on another 4th down. Here it is right here. Watch Bauer.
Yep, that's what it was. Jeff Bauer popped the football loose. Not only is Gilmer denied getting in the end zone, they use over half of the 3rd quarter trying to score, and Navasota starts from its 20. But a fumble on the first play, and Navasota comes back, or did they?
They did. I believe Navasota got on it.
Yeah, Buckeyes thought they had it, but coming up with it was Tyler White, the senior right guard.
Probably not how Tyler wanted to get on TV this evening, but good heads-up play by the offensive lineman to get a good look at the fumble.
And a fortuitous bounce off the leg of one of the linemen, enabling White to be able to fall on the football. It's a loss of 2 yards. And it's 2nd down and 12 for Navasota. Kadarius Baker. First look in the throw, then run, and he'll be dropped for no gain. A late flag comes in as well. Adam Witcher on the tackle, and Baker is down on the field.
Ben.
Whoops, that's when you wish you had that thing off.
An official timeout. Official's mic on there, but Kadarius Baker is down on the field. Saw a flag come out. And Baker tucking in the ball.
Well, that's not good news for the Navasota Rattlers.
I think this is going to be a holding call against Navasota on top of it. Well, they're still discussing it right now, and here's the call. Training staff still attending to Kadarius Baker down on the field, and the officials still trying to get everything sorted the way they want it.
Well, devastating would that be to lose your leading rusher before the game even starts, the day before, and then have your bell cow on offense responsible for almost 60 touchdowns.
Baker is up. It's a good sign, but he is needing assistance to come off the field. I think the officials wanted to wait until Kadarius Baker came off the field. We'll take a timeout.
Why is everybody in such a hurry? Because it's the final 100 hours.
Fine. Third down.
So after all is said and done, a holding penalty against the Rattlers is declined. It'll bring up third down and 12. As I started to say, Navasota's up, but the more immediate concern is for Kadarius Baker, who's out, and now Austin Collins in at quarterback for the Rattlers. Navasota, of course, lost Xavier Creeks yesterday to the car wreck, their #1 rusher, and now the 3A Offensive Player of the Year, 3A Player of the Year maker. But look at Austin Collins go! No one will catch Collins. 82 yards on 3rd and 12.
That's what you call making lemonade right there, baby. Bad situation turned good for the Rattlers. That young man right there is having himself a game. Austin Collins fakes the counter, keeps it up the middle. Offensive line does a good job. He turns it on. Nobody's going to catch him.
Well, that is a backbreaker there. Collins up to 96 rushing yards now. This is a receiver. And the rushing touchdown as well as the reception for a touchdown. Here's the extra point kick.
You think he's got much family here at this game?
Oh, yeah. No doubt about that. Maybe working out a cramp or two, but the family is liking what they see.
Oh, yeah, they're liking it.
And why not? The Rattlers lead by 30.
It's Houston versus the DF Dub in Class 5A Division I. Great game Saturday night. Just when you thought the games couldn't get any better, they do. Allen has weathered all the Dallas heavyweights to be in position for their second title in 4 years, while Houston Lamar is looking to do what no Houston ISD team has done in 27 years. That's take home the UIL trophy. Join us for the biggest game of the biggest classification Saturday night at 8 on Fox Sports Southwest.
So, Benny, a buddy of mine called me the other day. He said you delivered a brand new Dodge pickup truck in his driveway the very next morning with all the paperwork. He said it was easier than ordering a pizza.
That's right, Kevin. We try very hard to simplify the new car purchase for our customers.
Benny Boyd will ship a brand new Dodge truck to your driveway in 24 hours, or he's just going to give it to you.
No.
Don't listen, Bama. He's crazy. He ain't right.
Sorry, I got all excited.
Yeah, you better buy from Benny, and you'll get a better buy.
Not getting the internet speed you were hoping for? Switch to Time Warner Cable and go up to 3 times faster than DSL. Call 855-533-7898 for TV, internet, and phone for as low as $89.99 a month. And get our best offer of the year, DVR service free, 5 premium channels free, and a $150 Best Buy gift card. Time Warner Cable. Enjoy better.
The UIL High School Football State Championships all weekend on Fox Sports Southwest.
33-3 Navasota with the lead, and our producer Mike Ugachoni just couldn't wait any longer. He had to go out in the stands and then join the rest of the Navasota. No, I'm just kidding. That's one of the Navasota faithful, and plenty of those guys.
Cousin
and
Eddie.
He's making a lot of noise.
Cousin Eddie in town for Christmas.
Could be that.
Got the RV parked out back.
An exciting time for that young man, Austin Collins, who went in at quarterback after Kadarius Baker went down with the injury. His first play after that, he goes 82 yards on a 3rd down and 12 zone read keeper. 33-3 the score. Kickoff and a throwback across the field to Devondrick Dixon. And Gilmer trying to pull out all the stops now, trailing 33-3 here in the 3rd quarter. Let's go down to the sidelines to Jim Knox on the Navasota sideline. Jimmy?
All right, Craig, right now, here's the scene on the sideline. Kadarius' right knee, the trainers are taping him up. Now, Kadarius looked at me and he said, I'm coming back in. They don't really need him right now, but he says he wants to finish this one out.
Well, that's quite a bit of tape on Baker, the senior. The defense has been doing its job and helping the Rattlers hold a 30-point 3rd quarter lead. And on 1st down is Boyd. On the right side across the 40. the 41-yard line. Near the 42, nearly 6 yards on the pickup. Dustin Savinsky, the tackle for Navasota.
That was really nice special teams coverage that time by Navasota. You know, Gilmer pulling out the old SMU special throwback, and a couple of guys waiting on it.
SMU special.
The old SMU special.
I was thinking Music City Miracle, Tennessee Titans, perhaps.
That's what Bob McQueen called it, the SMU special.
Former great coach at Temple, who 20 years ago was the coach of the Temple Wildcats state championship win, and also won it in 1979. Jake Bauer on that tackle. That 92 team 20 years ago defeated Houston Yates, and that was the last time a Houston ISD school advanced to the state championship round until this year. Houston Lamar will play in the 5A Division I state championship game tomorrow night, the final of the 9 championship games this weekend. There's a pass tipped and almost intercepted on the outside, and that was close to being picked off by Hunter Sparkman. Sparkman was closing on the ball and almost had it. Houston Lamar will play the Allen Eagles tomorrow night in the 5A Division I title game at 8 o'clock.
Bob McQueen, mentor of mine, went to work for him, and I was about 24 years old. Really modeled a lot of what I do after Bob McQueen. He's as classic guy as there is ever been in this business as far as I'm concerned.
Great coach and a great gentleman. There's a pass downfield and caught. Nice catch made. Chase Tate to Jaden Parrish. Chase Tate. Look at that catch made by Jaden Parrish. Another one.
Another 4th down conversion for Gilmer.
Jaden Parrish catches the ball like those Shipley boys do. Great hands on that. First down.
The best catch a Shipley ever made was when I found their mother.
There you go. Had to put that in there. That was an important thing.
I've been called a lot of things, Craig, but fast was never one of them.
Tanner Barr on that. No, but Jordan and Jackson have some wheels and some great hands as well. 2nd down and 7. On 2nd down, we'll hand it, and looking to throw or keep it is Devondre Dixon. Dixon breaking free and down to the 21-yard line. Austin Collins playing both ways today on safety, comes over to make the stop. It's a 23-yard game.
Dixon trying to make something happen on the jet sweep here, going in motion, takes a handoff, turns it upfield. Good job of blocking by the line. Receivers blocking downfield.
Devondre Dixon was the man who picked up the onside kick. Now they got another perhaps throwback coming the other way. That one bounces off the turf. It's an incomplete pass. There's Chase Tate trying to throw back. The first one is a backward pass. The second a forward pass. So since it hit the turf, it's an incomplete pass, and it's 2nd down and 10.
You keep those when you hit pockets. You work on them all year long in case you ever need them in a situation like this.
In week 16, you might as well empty the chest, right? Use all of them if you have to. Down over the middle pass, tipped and incomplete. Looking for Sleed Morris, a senior receiver.
The impressive thing is, as a defense, there's no way that you can prepare for all the trickery and all the different things people can throw at you. You just got to play good, sound, fundamental-based defense and stay at home and just take care of the things that you can control, and that's what Navasota's done so well this evening. They've been very impressive.
They reacted very well to off-schedule plays like that.
Guys are always in the right place.
3rd down and 10 for Gilmer. On the pass, tipped and intercepted. Picked off by LaMarcus Jefferson. Jefferson up the sidelines and finally wrapped up from behind and out of bounds.
This will be interesting, Craig, because there's 2 flags on the play. Certainly there was probably a hold or a block in the back on the return, and then a horse collar looked like probably. I wonder what the result of that will be. They wouldn't replay the down, would they, since both penalties occurred after the change of possession?
That's right, post change of possession. If indeed that's where the first flag is right in the area of the interception, way back upfield and around the 7-yard line. The second, I think you're right, would be for a horse collar. It was a 42-yard return. So you're right, Bob. It will be interesting to see how this Fort Worth chapter of officials sort out. Meanwhile, the clock, for some reason, is continuing to run, and they'll have to reset that. I mean, it's still ticking down even as we speak right now. And they'll have to go back and reset that.
We have personal foul, helmet to helmet, defense. We also have live ball, face mask on the return. These were offset. We played third down.
And they're going to have to go back and figure out how much time's left, because the clock is actually, the seconds are ticking out. Now, here's the first foul. This is the helmet to helmet, the targeting call right there, and there's no doubt about it. That's foul number 1.
Here's a good look at it. Or they could have called it hitting a defenseless player.
Please reset the clock to 54 seconds. 54 seconds.
Yeah, that is a face mask for sure. I thought the flag came a little bit late. I thought maybe it was the block in the back on the return, but
there's the face mask. And we saw a face mask on the big board here, so that's why they're offsetting penalties. And that really hurts Gilmer, even though they still have possession of the football. And I'm not sure why the fans are booing, because those were both the correct call. The pass this time on third down, and then the ball is loose on the turf, and Navasota will have it. Patrick Finch lost control of the ball, but it's been ruled incomplete, and it'll bring up fourth down. That's a break, really, for Gilmer, because Finch, well, he never really gathered it in well enough, so it's the right call. Look at it again here, Bob.
Yeah, he never did have possession of it. There's no question. That was a nice call. These officials have done just a great job tonight. The Fort Worth chapter very well represented here this evening in the 3A state championship game.
So fourth down and 10, and another fourth down situation for Gilmer to have to convert. They've converted one on this drive. They converted 3 the last time. But now trouble for Tanner Barr. Cannot escape. Down he goes. Jordan Birdwell on the tackle, and the football will go back over to Navasota.
Birdwell and Desmond Calhoun that time. There's Desmond coming off the field. Another fourth down conversion. You see Tanner Barr in trouble and Birdwell there. And Desmond Calhoun, the junior, finishes him off. Little chest bump with the coach. I do that a lot. Oh, well, you got to get off the ground at chest. I don't do that.
Starting to say, you have any hops at all on?
Yeah, when you're my age and my physique, you belly bump. You don't chest bump much.
32 seconds to go, third quarter. And Navasota with possession of the football again. To the ground. And it's Howard Horn on the carry. And what will be the final play of the third quarter as Garrett Parrish makes the tackle.
I tell you, Craig, I almost got choked up watching Coach Fedora talk about Xavier Creeks there before halftime, dedicating this game to him. And, you know, the way that these coaches spend more time with these kids than their parents do. And it really is. It's like one of your own. And I just can't imagine what that phone call was like, not only to Xavier's parents, but to a coach who cares about his young men as much as Coach Fedora does. He just, you know, almost got choked up. And, you know, you talk about these players and trying to get them focused. How hard is it for a coach to stay focused as well?
Wow. Navasota's done all of that and then some. Into the third quarter. The #1 team in Texas looking to finish on top. They lead Gilmer 33-3. And now a special message from DQ. We hope state football championship. The top-ranked Navasota Rattlers with a 33-3 lead on the Gilmer Buckeyes. Craig Way, Bob Chipley, Jim Knox, our Fox Sports Southwest crew. As Navasota's had to go without senior running back Xavier Creeks. Broken leg sustained in a car wreck early yesterday morning. And look who's back on the field now after having a knee injury in the third quarter. Kadarius Baker is back. And Baker outside with a route to McGinney. And McGinney breaking a tackle. A stiff arm, and up the sideline is Solomon McGinney. 29 yards on that catch and run.
That's not really something you expect to see. Of course, it's, you know, they're not throwing the ball down the field, just throwing it out in the flat, trying to keep the defense honest. But you got a guy like Kadarius Baker throwing, and a guy like Solomon McGinney catching the ball. You could score any play. Good balance that time.
Down to the Gilmer 38-yard line. And Baker, who told our Jim Knox, "I'll be back," he said after.
Somebody else said that one time, didn't they?
Uh-huh. Back to the ground. On the ground, Howard Horn. Down to the 36-yard line, a pickup of a couple. Dylan Bowman, the tackle for the Buckeyes.
Well, these backs have done a great job. We've talked about them all night, filling in for Xavier. Darian Randall. And
on that carry, Howard Horn.
Yeah, these guys have done a great job.
Austin Collins in the Wildcats head, and then when he stepped in when Baker was hurt, all he did was go 82 yards on his own read for the last touchdown for Navasota. Second down and 7 for the Rattlers. Navasota looking to drive and add another one here early in the fourth quarter. Back to the ground to Howard Horn. 2 more on the carry down to the 34. Josh Walker, the tackle. The Rattlers have never won a state championship. Looking for their first. This is their second state title game appearance. Back in 1988, a very good team. Lost to South Lake Carroll at Floyd Casey Stadium in Waco. That one 42-8. That was legendary coach Bob Ledbetter's first state championship, garnered at South Lake Carroll, and followed up with back-to-back titles on those dynastic 3A teams in 92 and 93. And then, of course, Carroll going on to incredible prominence as a 5A program, first under Todd Dodge, and then afterwards under Hal Wasson, winning the title last year. Howard Horn on the ground again on 3rd down and 5. Adam Witcher, the tackle, and will bring up 4th down.
I tell you, we've got lucky enough in Brownwood to have Sam Harrell on our staff. Sam been, of course,
speaking of dynastic coaches,
no doubt,
what he did at Ennis, and good to see Sam back in the coaching game again.
Well, Sam tells a story. He had a pretty good team out at Reagan County, and they had been undefeated. They ran into Little Reagan County out there, ran into Big Lake, Texas, ran into South Lake Carroll. Can you imagine South Lake playing a team like Reagan County? And I tell you what, Reagan County had a good football team, but South Lake just, wow, they were just busting at the seams, of course. I think they were busting at the seams 3A, and Reagan County probably should have been a 2A school.
We have timeout, Navasota. Second team timeout, second half.
That was on a cold state quarterfinal night in San Angelo.
Timeout.
And
TV timeout.
Yep, we got that. It is a timeout. We'll take it. 9:31 to go. You just taste better. And by Ford. There's a reason why Ford is the best in Texas. Stop by your Ford dealer and drive one. Well, this is the 3A Division II State Championship, Navasota and Gilmer. And for those of you expecting the Dallas Mavericks pregame show at 6:30, please turn to Fox Sports Southwest Plus. There's a slant route to Austin Collins. Of course, for those of you in the Mavericks viewing area, you will see the Mavericks tonight on Fox Sports Southwest. And for those of you who will be watching for the 4A Division II championship game to come tonight, Cedar Park against Lancaster, that game will be seen on Fox Sports Southwest Plus. Well, you see the jersey right now of Xavier Creeks. We've talked an awful lot about it. And our Jim Knox, first of all, we'll take a look at this play on 1st and 10 for Navasota at the Gilmer 25-yard line. And to the ground, it's Darian Randall for 4 yards. Our Jim Knox has caught up with Xavier Creek's dad in the stands. Doxy?
All right, thank you, Craig. This is Willie Creeks, actually on hand to watch Xavier's brother, your son, of course, and cousin playing in this game. Give us an update. How's Xavier doing, Willie?
Xavier's doing fine. I just left him this morning in good spirits. He told me to tell his brothers to go out and win this game. And I know he's enjoying this lead right now.
Yeah. Now, Navasota has dedicated this game to Xavier. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, they dedicated this to Xavier. I'm really happy with this group of guys here. They're close like brothers. They've been together since grade school, since Little League, and this is a special group here.
Now, if Xavier was here, what do you think he would be doing right now?
Oh, if Xavier was here, he'll be lifting the crowd, holding necks. This is for Xavier. Holding necks, cheering Collins on, cheering his brothers and cousins on. I know Zay is that he's enjoying. I like to tell him I love him. We represent you, Zay.
There you go, Willie. Appreciate. Thank you for the time, Craig.
All right, thanks, Jim. Appreciate that, and that's very good to hear. Good to hear that Xavier's doing well. You heard it, Xavier. The guy said, "Zay, it's for you." Back to the ground, Howard Horn on 3rd down and 7 inside the 20, down to the 19. Brandon Barnes on the tackle for Gilmer.
It's a tough situation right here. Fourth and 3. You know, do you go for it? Do you? Okay, well, if you go for it, is it like, you know, you score a touchdown, you're running up the score? Do you kick a field goal, running up the score? Do you take a chance on getting it blocked? I mean, you know, there's just a lot of ways people. It all depends on what side of the fence you're on here. If you're for the good guys or the bad guys, or the team that's winning, team that's losing. I'm not calling anybody bad, of course, but I think they're going to let the clock run down and call a timeout, talk about it a little bit.
And that's exactly what Lee Fedor will do here.
Timeout. Navasota. Their 3rd and final timeout.
Exactly 7 minutes remaining in the football game. Jeff Traylor talking to his team, and it's going to be tough. And Bob, I know, and coaches don't like. We're doing fine, thank you. You know, coaches don't like to think about the down times. You certainly think about the up times like everybody else, but you've also been in this situation too on the Gilmer side of things. And what as a coach do you say to your team with 7 minutes to go and down 30 points?
Well, yeah, I don't know. I know this. Gilmer will probably be the #1 team in the preseason next year in the state with all the guys they have coming back. But you know, there's just no way to prepare for this. Unfortunately, you've got to talk to these kids after the game. And, you know, they played their hearts out. Just wasn't their night tonight. You know, Coach Traylor, he was exactly right starting the game. You know, when he said there's 8 all-state players over there. I don't. You know, he got beat by a good team today, but his kids played hard, and a lot of these kids are going to be back. So we'll just try to console them and, you know, not think about this game, but think about the other ones, the other 14 games that they did win.
So now, looking to throw is Collins. Downfield and knocked away on 4th down and 4. So Collins going downfield, and football will go over to the Buckeyes with 6:53 to go in the game.
Throws it back to Austin. That's a kind of messed up at the start, but Austin probably had the choice to run or throw. Didn't have much of a choice on that one. What a great season that young man's had. Kadarius Baker.
And what a great night that guy's had. Austin Collins.
Who would have thought coming to this game Austin Collins would be the leading rusher. What a great receiver. 4 carries, 96 yards in 3 quarters.
Trouble again. And the ball and Tanner Bard down. Anthony Small, a junior defensive tackle, getting into the act. A loss of 8.
Well, it's got to be a fun time for Coach Fedor now, letting all of his guys play, and those guys deserve a chance to play. Of course, those guys have been out there for a while, but as the game wears on, you'll see more and more guys getting out there.
Second down and 18, and nothing happening there for Chris Boyd. Well, the Navasota Rattler defense really trying to finish this game with a flourish, Bob, with what they're doing. And keeping Gilmer from being able even to move the ball for short gains.
I'm very impressed with Jordan Wells, Jake Bauer. Jake with 9 tackles tonight. Rode well there. Jake Bauer with 2 tackles for losses. I don't know how many tackles Jordan Wells has for losses, probably 3 or 4, but very impressed with that young man tonight.
3rd down and 18.
Have I said that yet?
Yes, you have. With
Look
emphasis,
at that.
Ball loose on the turf.
On cue, baby.
And still popping out. Navasota comes up with another turnover. Solomon McGinney, who's played well on both sides, as have many of the Navasota Rattlers, with the turnover.
Well, it's just been a long afternoon for the Gilmer Buckeyes. Try to run the draw play there, never really got through, and Jordan Wells comes in and rakes that ball loose. Good heads-up play by Rattlers. Solomon McGinney, the senior, making the most of his opportunity here.
So,
well, I tell you what, it's heartbreaking. Got to be heartbreaking.
And for Navasota, a chance to add to the total. Back to the ground to Howard Horn. And the Rattlers content to run the clock now. If they punch it in for another score, that's fine. But the main thing is keep that clock moving as it counts down to a state championship.
Well, with 5 minutes to go, they still hadn't set the clock for play, just set it. Try to just let as much time run off the clock as you can. Comfortable 33-3 lead. Who would have thought coming to this game that Gilmer would not score a touchdown with 4:50 left in the game? It says a lot about that Rattler defense.
On 2nd down. Back up the middle, Howard Horn to the end zone for the score. It has been a team community effort in the absence of Xavier Creeks. Darian Randall, Howard Horn, Austin Collins, Kadarius Baker, Solomon McGinney. They're all chipping in tonight, and the Rattlers headed toward finishing the season where they currently are at number 1.
Sometimes you get in a situation like that as a defense and you blitz, you try to get upfield, trying to make something happen, and running back slips past you. That's why so many times you'll see a 4th and 1, 4th and 2, the team will go for it and they'll bust it all the way. The defense is sometimes a little too over aggressive.
Extra point kick, not there, but a 39-3 lead. Well, there you see Austin Collins. He's holding up the jersey of Xavier Creeks. But Austin Collins himself has had quite the afternoon, and he's our built-for tough player of the game. Look at those numbers, Bob Shipley.
Well, for a wide receiver to have almost 100 yards rushing in a state championship game, that's a dream come through. 3 catches, 63 yards, 82-yard touchdown reception, a touchdown run. That screen for a touchdown to start off the scoring.
And how about this catch?
Unbelievable.
And then if he can help you at quarterback if you need him. 82 yards on a 2nd down and 18 after Kadarius Baker went down for a bit with a knee injury. And a great effort by Austin Collins.
Well, he's not leaving anything behind. The senior really taking advantage. This is just a tale of a young football team tonight. Gilmer, just a lot of good young players. They'll be back.
Josh Walker on the return, and down he goes. 4.5 minutes remaining in the ball game. All right, Bob Shipley, I'm going to ask you the inevitable question as Jeff Traylor sees his team trying to mount something for the end of the game. And I think you know where I'm going with this. There was a state champion crowned in 3A last week. The Stephenville Yellow Jackets. You know them. You saw them. Went up against them. They win the Division I title 70-35 over El Campo a week ago tonight here at Cowboys Stadium. We're seeing an outstanding performance from Navasota. First down, a run by Patrick Finch going to lose 2 yards. And Navasota doing this without Xavier Creeks, and up 39-3 here in the 4th quarter. No one wouldn't necessarily ask you to pick a winner because Creeks isn't even on the field. What would you think of a matchup between those two?
Well, I'd pay good money to see it. I know that. You're right. You're not about to get me
to pick a winner on that?
To pick a winner.
No.
You're talking about 2 great programs, 2 great coaches, 2 great football teams, 2 great quarterbacks.
And it's going to be 2 great state champions.
Wow.
By the way.
I mean, you know, it would be an incredible matchup, and being a 3A coach myself, I would love to see that. But, you know, it is what it is. But Stephenville's offense is incredible. I mean, I think it would probably be a pretty high-scoring game. Their defense is good, but their offense is off the charts. And
can you imagine that Stephenville offense against this Navasota defense?
Well, it'd be a good matchup up front with Stephenville's offensive line, seeing if they can slow down Jordan Wells, Birdwell, and those guys. It would be a fantasy matchup. I wouldn't want to play either one of them. I know that.
Well, Stephenville.
Please reset the clock. 3:47. 3:47.
You know, Stephenville is a team that people say, well, you know, the town has shrunk a little bit. Their enrollment is declining. They've dropped down to 3A. They're the same number as they've always been. You know, there's probably not 100 kids difference from high school enrollment from when they won their first 4A state championship. The numbers had just gone up, and Stephenville stayed the same, and they've just fallen under. And I'm not so sure they couldn't have won the 4A championship or played for it anyway.
Pass incomplete on 14. Well, speaking of 4A, of course, the 4A Division II state championship game is coming up after this one at 8 o'clock tonight. The Lancaster Tigers and the Cedar Park Timberwolves, and there's some guys who can really post some numbers. DeMarcus Ayers, what a talented offensive player for Lancaster. Here's the punt on 4th down. And Nate Grimm, we saw from Cedar Park, and Timberwolves finally able to break through after butting heads against Lake Travis the last couple of years in the quarterfinal round. Lake Travis moving up to 5A, and Cedar Park in its first state championship going to take on Lancaster coming up at 8 o'clock. Let's go down to the Navasota sideline to Jim Knox.
All right, Craig, hot off the press, the Navasota newspaper state champs, and it's only fitting that Austin Collins is celebrating in the end zone. There you go, extra. Read all about it tomorrow in the Navasota newspaper. Way to go. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks. Now, that's quickness right there for you, Craig.
Turning it around, getting ready there, and I'll have it ready to go there down in the Brazos Valley. And
somebody said, let's print these off just in case. I bet it was a little cheaper to print those off than it was T-shirts in case you didn't win.
I have a feeling those will be available also. On 1st down, Darian Randall on the tackle.
You talk about Cedar Park. I wonder if Chris Ross is regretting stepping into the athletic director. You know, I talked to Chris about that a lot, and you know, he knew there was a really good team coming back, and he has a son that's playing for Cedar Park, and you know, he's just such a great guy, does such a great job with the administration in there at Leander. He knows the district as well as anybody. He stepped into the athletic director role last spring and left a really good football team behind, and had it not been for Lake Travis, he might have played for a couple of state championships before this year.
2nd down and 12 for the Rattlers, and Baker running that play clock down before handing off to Randall. He'll take it across the 20 and still on his feet, nearing a 1st down. Well, it was an outstanding year for the Leander School District overall. Leander's Lions were state ranked, got upset by Flower Bluff. Excellent performance by Flower Bluff on a 4th down touchdown pass in the waning seconds, and that was in the 3rd round of the playoffs. And then Leander Rouse, a 3rd-year varsity program, beat Flower Bluff in the quarterfinals in Division I before going on to the state semifinals, where they lost to Georgetown last week. And Georgetown, of course, will play for the 4A Division I championship at noon tomorrow against Denton Geyer, a seemingly almost annual participant here at Cowboys Stadium. And that should be a very entertaining and perhaps high-scoring state championship.
Yeah, football's doing very well north of Austin. Thank you very much. Georgetown, what an incredible run they're having this year, a special group of seniors.
All 4 teams that made the playoffs from the Leander School District win at least 2 rounds. Vista Ridge going 2 rounds deep into the playoffs. Leander going 3 rounds. And then 4 rounds for Rouse, or actually going 5 rounds for Rouse. And then Cedar Park, a chance to play for a state championship tonight against the Lancaster Tigers. And what a great run for the Tigers in their first trip to the state championship round. Punt, a fair catch called for and made at the 40-yard line, and just over a minute to go. So you have the 4A Division II matchup tonight. Tomorrow, 3 games starting at noon with the 4A Division I title matchup. The aforementioned Georgetown Denton Geyer matchup. Then the 5A Division II championship we told you about. Cedar Hill against top-ranked Katy. #1 team in the state. And nationally ranked as well. And then the 5A Division I championship game tomorrow night to add the climax to the 9 championships in 3 days. Allen against Houston Lamar at 8. Still plenty of outstanding championship football to come. Under a minute to go, and
wow, how about that young man, Jordan Wells, still on the field, still dominating. Let's take a look at him here. This is what it looks like on the sidelines. I'd rather see what it looks like on the sidelines than feel what it's like on the field. That guy's dished out some pain today.
So here it is, 2nd down. And the flags come down here with just over a half minute to play.
Legal substitution, defense, 5-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
And that's what happens when you try to get kids in the game, and last minute you look up, see a kid, send him in there, and he doesn't get the guy's attention that's on the field. Hey man, get out, get out. I want some of this.
And good head coaches always want everybody to get a chance in a deal like this if possible, especially if you're winning. Straight ahead on what will be the final play of the game. Well, they've been waiting a long time for this. Down in Navasota. Had a run to the 3A state championship game in '88. Came up short then, but back now and finishing the job. They did it for Xavier Creeks. They did it for themselves, for the community. And Navasota has its first ever state football championship. The top-ranked Rattlers are the winners in 3A Division II.
Wow. Look at that. Emotions. I tell you what, where else can you get to? You know, I tell you what Art Briles said a long time ago, winning is a high you can't buy. And I tell that to my kids all the time. It really is. What kind of sport and activity can arouse emotion like that and bring towns together to experience something they'll be talking about for generations?
Well, Bob, you coach at this level right now in Texas at 3A. Could you not have 2 more worthy champions than Stephenville and Navasota?
No. I tell you what, there's been some great teams. I faced Carthage, 3-time state champs. Always speculation who's the best. Navasota's certainly worthy of state champion, and you know, as we said, Jeff Traylor's had his teams here 7 of 10 years. He'll be back. He's got a young team this year. Coach is shaking hands.
Well, we'll go through the handshake line there, and there's Austin Collins, who I think is also going to be named the offensive